And welcome back to Jockeys Wax Plastica on the Plastic Action Jockeys channel here on Twitch. Happy Saturday evening to everybody. I am joined this evening by Bad Jockey.
Bad Jockey.
Ghost Jockey.
Marble Jockey.
All right. And as you can see, we have a giant Hulkbuster here center frame tonight. We started out our show with a review of the Hulkbuster figure. And tonight, Bat Jockey has brought a custom diorama designed around the Hulkbuster figure to show us. So, walk us through your diorama here, Bat Jockey.
Okay.
What did you bring tonight?
Well, I can be found on Facebook under Mischief Dioramas.
All right.
It's something I've been doing for, I'd say, 6 to 8 months now, for income as opposed to just doing my own stuff. I use mostly foam core board and a lot of paint, a lot of time, and take commission work. This piece here is actually for a gentleman going out to Australia. So I allow my customers to kind of tell me exactly what they want. We work back and forth with everything, and then the best part for it is I do say, I demand a little bit of free range on the artist's abilities, and I do keep strict communication with them, though. I have customers now in 7 countries, so this is the first one going to Australia.
Okay.
I've sent to Greece, Singapore, Hong Kong, England, Canada. So yeah.
Wow. So all over the place.
Yes,
really.
sir.
That's cool.
Yep.
This looks like stone to me. I mean, it doesn't really look as though it's foam core. I mean, I guess if you can see the base, the bottom of the base, you can tell. Oh, there's the pink on a foam core piece, but it really doesn't look at all like that. It really looks like stone, and like this asphalt's all torn up over here. That's really impressive work. And then is this like a light pole? What is that made out of? Is that wood?
That's just a wooden dowel rod in balsa wood. Most of my stuff is literally styrofoam and balsa wood. So it's all handmade. It is not sculpted and then siliconed and then reproduced like massive productions.
Sure.
I don't have that kind of skill yet, so I like to do just kind of like one-offs and work from there. But I have numerous pieces. I believe you own a piece.
I actually do. Yes,
Yep.
yes indeed, I do.
So yep.
I did notice when we lifted it up, it looks heavy. It looked like it would weigh like a lot, and then you lift it up and
It probably weighs a pound.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was
Yeah.
light.
I mean, it was
certainly
light.
very light and one-handed.
Absolutely.
Is this affixed to it? This piece right
No.
here?
No, I
May
do.
pick it up?
Yeah,
Is it
please
right?
go ahead.
This is really great. I think with this glass work here, it's like it looks like it's a broken window, and you got frame, and you got little shards of glass everywhere, and then you've got some paint across the concrete to make it look like it's a piece of a wall.
The exterior of the wall versus the interior of the wall.
Interior side. That is extremely impressive. Oh, and then of course you have the rebar sticking out of the bottom. I mean, I just think that looks extremely nice.
Thanks. Yeah, I like to try to add a little bit of something for everybody's. These definitely get their own individual surprise pieces. Like for example, my client here did not ask for pieces that are just kind of sitting off on their own or debris, as you would say. So I like to give him the option to place it wherever he wants, do with it what they please. Recently I've done a piece and added some nice light effects, which I'm working, I'm learning as I go.
Sure.
But
sure,
yeah, I really am a big fan of this, and the money that we make off of this is going to a great cause. So
cool. This is really great. Yeah, this is extremely impressive. And so what did you do? I mean, you don't own a Hulkbuster.
I do not own a Hulkbuster.
Not the largest Iron Man fan here. So how did you space it to where you could make sure the Hulkbuster would fit on this guy?
Okay, so if you recall the very first episode we did, we had the Hulkbuster available.
Correct. Yes, correct.
Like off the show. I brought some of my foam over, and I just put him on the foam and made myself a little cutout of his feet, just so I would know how to place it.
That was a really good idea.
So now I can, basically make this over and over again, different variations and versions of it, because now I know how big his feet are, where they're going to be, separated. And he has a decent range of movement, but most people aren't, posing him in a lot of movement poses.
Like when we went to that first episode, it was like, I was 7, we had that, I was like, I was almost afraid to move the thing.
Yeah, I'm actually hoping after the show, or maybe potentially while we're sitting here talking even, I'm not sure, if we can potentially try and bend the right leg up a little bit.
Give him a bit more of a step.
Because I have a diorama that I want to put him in back behind us. So, yeah, that is a really impressive diorama. So if somebody wanted, I mean, now, obviously, a lot of times you'll make dioramas that are sized for a detolf shelf.
Exactly.
Which, obviously, those are extremely popular with 12-inch collectors. I really don't know any 12-inch collectors that don't at least know of, the popularity of detolfs and how they fit for 12-inch figures very well. So this here is not designed
it's
for
not
a detolf.
Designed for
Obviously,
a detolf.
It would not fit in a detolf no matter how you slice it.
My customer, Daniel Wood, is his name. There you are. He made a custom stand, including like glass case, mirrored back, everything for his Hulkbuster. So this is designed off of the measurements that he gave me to fit perfectly inside of that. So yeah. But yes, detolf is my standard size. A lot of my customers basically ask me about detolf sizing, pricing, things like that. So yeah, if you're ever interested, Mischief Dioramas on Facebook, just message me and
great.
There you go.
Certainly.
Like I said, it looks so. I mean, like I said, the amount of effort, and I don't know if you learned the craft from somebody. Did you learn it, or is it trial and error, or I don't know where your paint technique's great.
Yeah, I mean, it's something my dad's a super creative guy, and I kind of just picked up what he did, and I just built stuff all the time, and yeah. Nice. You get it right, you get it wrong, you learn how materials work.
Right.
I go to Home Depot, look at it completely different than most of you do, because you can find some pretty cool elements to that.
True. Yeah, that's true.
Your paint, your work's always good. I've got pieces from you as well.
Yep, little pieces.
And
eventually we'll have one for Marvel Jockey down there, or at least a dozen of them.
But yeah, like I said, that's a great. And it's a very unique piece because I have not seen anybody do any. I mean, if they're out there, fine. But I have not seen anybody do any major diorama work for a Hulkbuster yet.
And I'm excited to see it.
I hadn't either.
I'm excited to see it in his cabinet. I'm very honored to, his cabinet's amazing. So I'm really happy to have my art displayed literally museum style for the first time.
Yeah. I mean, I know that a lot of times with the detolf dios, you'll do a back wall to go with it instead of just the floor. And I mean, not that you're doing it, but it would have been really cool to see what kind of back wall you might have put together for this one.
A building, it would have been a building, but that dio would have been enormous.
Well, sure.
Oh my God.
Sure. That would have been part of the cool, right?
Yes,
I mean, to go with this enormous
so if anybody wants to commission that, hit me up.
There we go. I mean, I certainly think it would look like a building. I mean, that definitely looks like it's pieces of concrete from a building.
Like I said, first time you see it, it looks like it would be heavy. Just from the way it looks, and you pick it up, and it's like, wow.
It weighs nothing.
Yeah, that's cool. That is really, really cool. Now, it certainly weighs a lot with the figure on it. But
yes, now it does.
Yeah, it definitely weighs a lot more.
Now it weighs 29 pounds.
Yeah, that's nuts about that figure's weight.
That's
crazy. It definitely made me nervous picking it up.
They're welcome to the club. Everybody said, you're kidding about the being nervous, and you get your own. You're like,
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not like it was, a cheap figure in any way, shape, or form. So, yeah.
And the thing is that figure's not getting any cheaper. The aftermarket, the secondary market on those is growing bigger. It's 4 digits easily now.
Oh, yeah, the fact that it's sold out.
Everywhere.
And then kind of stayed that way, obviously, which means, they didn't have, another truckload. But surprise! Here's another load.
Here's a second batch,
Right, yeah.
They didn't do that.
They didn't do that.
They never do.
That doesn't exist.
Yeah, second batch, yeah.
It's all lies and rumors.
That's true, yeah. Except, of course, the most popular one is to have that as the Deadpool from Hot Toys because of the wrist problem.
Yeah, that one.
It was Sideshow's shipment. It wasn't the one that everybody talks about is Han, Chewie, Obi-Wan, and Vader, and that's not true either.
That was an issue with Disney more than anything else, though, wasn't it?
Yep, Disney's backstock or whatever.
Yeah, it was Disney.
Disney just sat on tons of them.
Disney ordered a ton of them. And they all shipped from Sideshow
through
Disney.
Just put in their Disney stores or website.
Or actually the theme parks. Actually, Disney, Orlando and Los Angeles.
I was going to say, I know I never saw those at the mall.
No, they were at the parks and on their website, and they had ridiculous shipping, so they weren't selling. But when they did, they shipped straight from Sideshow.
Yeah.
And they basically told Sideshow, we can't take this, take it back. So Sideshow put it up for pre-order again.
And it went just like hotcakes at that point.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So it wasn't a second batch, it was just
leftover stock. Yeah.
And like I said, everybody goes, is this a first batch or second batch Deadpool? I'm like, they're all the same thing.
Yep.
Please stop.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, because a lot of people definitely try to make that some sort of. In fact, every single person that you'll find selling one is, mine's from the second batch. Yeah, mine's from the second batch.
Yeah, that's the first thing they put on on anything on Facebook or any
Facebook,
selling. They're like
eBay,
second batch version, and you just shake your head at it.
Yeah.
But we only know because we have good people who know this kind of stuff.
Yes, this fellow here.
Yes.
Well, cool. Well,
I will move him out of the way.
Okay.
So you can at least see me now.
Yeah, that is a really awesome piece once again. And while Bat Jockey is moving that out of the way, let's discuss a little bit after the grunting is over. Let's discuss a little bit about the big game release this week, which
Sea of Thieves,
which personally for myself was a big deal. Oh no, what happened to my
You're right there.
My pirate swag. And which to me was a really big deal. I was really excited about that one, and it's a really neat open world pirate game. It's made by the company Rare, which is formerly, like back in the day for all of us older video gamers, is the company that basically exclusively made games for Nintendo in the 80s and I think almost all the 90s, if not all the 90s. And then kind of went off on their own, doing their own deal, and then they got bought by Microsoft, and so now Microsoft has owned them for quite a while and hadn't really done a whole lot with any IPs from them. And then they did this like revival game, I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years ago, called Rare Replay, with a bunch of just remastered, updated versions of their old school stuff from the 80s. Although they did like Donkey Kong Country and like Conker's Bad Fur Day and some Nintendo 64 games that are really popular, like Banjo-Kazooie and some of that stuff. And alright, enough of the hat. And those games weren't included on Rare Replay, but a lot of their other 80s like hits were. And they made this pirate game, and they've been developing it for several years, and it's very open world, and it's got a cel-shaded, almost cartoonish look, yet you get out on the ocean, and it's a first-person view, so you get out on the ocean in a ship, and you actually have to lower the sails, and angle the sails, and lower the anchor, and raise the anchor, and, and if you smash into things or get hit with cannonballs, because you also have cannons, then you have to go patch the holes, or you sink your boat, and you lose all your stuff. You can get eaten by sharks.
That's the best part too.
There's obviously a lot of non-realism involved as well as the realism of it. I mean, it's very.
I think the drinking and vomiting is the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, you can get drunk. You have a tankard, and you drink what they call grog.
Yep.
And there's
it's a grog or mead.
It's grog, and there's there's like a keg down in the lower hold of your ship, and you can go fill it up whenever you want. And if you drink two or so of them, your character will get drunk and start weaving all over the ship, and
vision's a little blurry.
And the picture gets wavy and blurry. And then you have a bucket too for bailing out water when you have holes in the ship. Well, you can then start, if you drink too much, you can throw up in the bucket. And then what's interesting is, so you can attack other ships, right? I mean, it's a total like MMO game where we could be playing together and we could like crew a giant ship, and then we'd go out and we could just come across people from Spain that were playing it in their ship.
The Spaniards.
Yeah, just out on the water or whatever, right? I mean, from anywhere, right? It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
And you can attack those people. You could not attack those people. Most people attack other people.
Of course they attack each other.
Just because it's like, well, if you're going to just let me do whatever, then I'm going to just do whatever. And you can do things like, okay, try and divert attention and then have somebody swim in and pull like, a Navy SEAL deal and sneak in the back way of their ship. You could take a powder keg and put it in the hold and then blow it up and then explode their whole ship. You can shoot them with cannonballs and sink it. You could follow them to a port where they're going to go somewhere and then wait till they all leave the ship and then go in and rob it.
Nice.
I mean, you can just really do.
I watched your streaming on the channel. It was funnier than I was. Great,
and that's the point, right? Is that it's just
funny.
It's a lot of fun.
I'm not the biggest gamer. by any stretch, but I sat there when you started streaming on the beta testing, and I was watching. I'm like, this is great. It's hilarious.
Well, I mean, there's musical instruments, and so your crew members
you got
can
quests,
play
and you got to look on a
songs,
map. Well, you got to look on a map, and you got to fight skeleton pirates, on the island when you get treasures and stuff.
And yeah, you get a compass, a map table, and you have to like look at these maps and see the shape of the islands you need to go to, and then find them on this map table, and then use your compass to guide the boat there.
Nice.
And you have to. There's no fast traveling. There's no here. Let me just set a course.
It's like real time.
It takes about 10, 15. It takes about 10 minutes to get to the farthest point on there. What, 10 minutes from one to the other?
I would say about 15 from corner to corner, maybe. Especially given the fact that you're going to have to go around islands and then if you get a storm, there's storms.
I was going to say, do you deal with weather?
Oh yeah, there's storms and
that's
the
cool.
rain. If it rains
really
extended periods, it'll flood the bottom of the boat, and then you have to go bail that out, and then you're in trouble.
It just seems like one of those games that if you have a group of guys, it's perfect for like you and 2 or 3 buddies want to get together and find a game that you can all play. That's something that you could team. It's more of a team player than a solo by far.
I mean, they have the option of playing by yourself, and I have played that way. Like on launch day, I took the day off work, and so when it unlocked that night before, because everything unlocks at like 11 o'clock, the night before of a Tuesday when it comes out. And so the second it unlocked, I tried to get online, and then they had difficulties at first. Surprise. Surprise.
Oh, lag on a release night. No way.
Well, the servers wouldn't let anybody in for like 20 minutes, and then they got in, and then it was the gold's not registering, and then an hour later you'd get gold from a mission that you'd completed an hour previous. You'd just be sailing along, and all of a sudden it'd be like, here's 4,000 gold, and I'm like, what's going on here?
I don't know about you, but I do love random booty.
Well, yes. Excellent.
7 o'clock show, folks.
Yes. Tip your waitress. And it's just a really cool game, and it is definitely more fun with friends, or your ability to have to be open to playing with other people. Because if you get the other really cool thing that wasn't in the beta at all, that people knew was going to be there but they didn't have it in the beta, is they have the Kraken. So
nice.
Really?
If you have a 4-man boat, you can get attacked by the Kraken.
Oh, have you got attacked yet?
No, because I have not played the full game with 4 people yet. So I've only played 2-man crew and single-person crew, and it won't attack a smaller boat. Apparently.
What console do you have on?
Xbox. It's only on Xbox or PC because
Xbox One or 360. Or no, they don't do.
What's a 360?
Yeah,
no, it's only one.
Yeah, they don't make new games for 360.
That's right, they don't. Okay, like I said, I'm still out of.
So Xbox One or PC, and apparently it's crossplay too. So you can
play with I did know that.
PC can play with.
Yeah, they're doing that with just about everything now. It seems like. Getting a lot of crossplay is a big selling point.
Yeah, they're definitely doing that with PC stuff with crossplay, which is cool when they do that.
Have you seen any videos or anything with the Kraken at all?
Yes, yeah.
How big is that thing?
Well, you don't see what's under the water. All you see is the tentacles come up and they get around your ship, and then it either takes your ship down or you break or you shoot them and get it off. And
so it doesn't show you underneath it yet?
No, you don't. Nobody gets to see that.
Aww.
Which is a bummer, but it's still pretty cool.
Can you swim underwater and see it, you think? Because you can go underwater.
I don't know. What I'm wondering is, because you can go underwater whenever you want.
Yeah, because that's why you got eaten by the sharks a couple times.
Potentially, is there something that happens where you can't jump off the boat during that encounter? I don't know. Maybe I could see that.
But that's cool that they're doing the Kraken, though. That's kind of.
I think it's extremely.
They'll add other stuff too. They'll add sea monsters, probably put the mermaids in there, so, just all sorts of crazy.
They have
stuff
mermaids already. There's, in fact, if you lose, if you fall off your boat or whatever, and you're stuck out in the ocean, or you're trying to get back to it, and the boat, if it sinks and you're stuck in the water, a mermaid will appear with a flare, so to speak, so that you know where to swim to, and then you can use a button to go back to a ship, and it'll take you to an island, and then you'll have a new ship.
But they add all sorts of stuff. That game's got so much potential for add-ons.
Well, yeah, they were asking the other day, Rare was asking people on Twitter, do you want a giant crab as an enemy in the game? And I'm like, well, that's kind of a nice idea as an addition. There's been some complaints from some about the game that say that it doesn't have enough to do. I mean, so it's got
the missions?
Repetitive quests, and it's wash, rinse,
same kind. Find a treasure map and
go get the chest and then turn it in, and go get the chest and turn it in. Now, the end game is to get to be Pirate Legend, and then there's a pirate lair that you get to go to, and I don't know if it's the first person who gets Pirate Legend then gets the lair, and then everybody else is screwed. If so, that's kind of crappy, but I don't know if that's the deal or not.
Yeah.
So it's just. I mean, I find it really neat. Now, admittedly, I find it kind of relaxing to sail out on the sea, and you got to catch the wind with the sails, and and make sure you're watching your compass and going the right way. And then it's also pretty cool to try to sail in really close to an island, and then drop your anchor and jerk the wheel all the way hard over, and then Fast and Furious e-brake turn.
Nice.
So you're
drifting out in the ocean.
You can basically do a 90-degree turn. By doing that and flip the boat around the other way if you do it right.
I was a huge fan of, on the 64, Pilot Wing.
Yeah.
For that exact same reason. It was just like, you had a plot, but it was also just really relaxing to go fly that like Aerojet at nighttime, and it was cool.
It was a cool game, and I remember that.
So yeah.
And I don't know if that was a rare game though.
I don't know.
It might have been.
Pilot Wing 64. I don't know if it was.
It might have been. It might have actually just been a Nintendo game. I'm not sure, but it's a pretty neat game, and it got a lot of fervor, although people are kind of saying, well,
I think they'll add more stuff. They'll probably add stuff like, like temples and stuff like that with,
given that it's an MMO, they can add stuff, like, randomly whenever they want. But they can just throw stuff in whenever, which is pretty cool.
After this launch gets started, there'll be tons of new add-ons and stuff like that, and side quests and new missions.
I would think so. I really would. I mean, they have, like, 3 different factions, and they all have different quests, and, like, some of them are go fetch animals, which is pretty funny. Like, got to go catch chickens, and so you got to take chicken coops and then go get a chicken, and then you got to go turn them into an outpost. And then they have some where you have to go to islands and fight basically skeleton crews.
I remember seeing you do a couple of those.
Well, you didn't see the full one because I never got a mission from them because they weren't in the beta. There's skeletons on every island you go to, but like on these you go and they'll be like wearing colors from their shipmates or whatever, and then the captain will come out at the end, and it'll be wave after wave and more of them, and then the captain comes in the last wave, and you get these cool glowing skulls if you defeat them all, and then you go turn those in for both reputation and for gold. And then once you get to certain levels on the reputation, you go to this stranger character that's in the bar at like one of the main, I guess actually it might be at every outpost there's the strangers in the bar, maybe. I'm not sure about that. But you go to this stranger, and then they're I think they're the gateway to being Pirate Legend somehow. I mean, I'm not sure what the end game is on that.
I'm sure they'll have success on that game for a long time.
There's so many opportunities. I mean, I remember during the beta when we played with the 4-man crew, we'd go out and you'd put somebody out on the front of the boat, out on the tip, and you'd slam into a boat, and then you'd fly into their captain's quarters because of just the jolt from flying, from slamming into the side.
Didn't I watch you one time? You guys got off a boat, and some dude snuck on your boat and tried to almost sink it when you guys.
Oh, and he did. He killed everybody on the boat, and then he just about sank it, but we respawned and killed him, and then got him off.
I remember that because you're all like, "What the?"
Oh yeah, there's crazy shenanigans in that game. I mean, and so like if you. Like we were talking about how you can like vomit in a bucket and you can throw up in your bucket. If somebody's like trying to attack you or whatever and you time that right and you have it, you can throw it in their eyes and they'll be blind and all disoriented. And I'm like, that's awesome. It's gross, but it's, what kind of
that is like so Animal House. It's not even
how fun
funny.
would it be to sit in that round table and be like, you know what we should do? You know, like that. That's the guy.
I think you could chuck.
That's the guy. Somebody bet that guy. They're like, I dare you to bring that.
They're all like, I bet you can't do this, and that guy's like, hold my beer, watch this, and the next meeting they're like, you just do vomit.
Rare's known for being smart ass and having antics and stuff, and this game just really
well, it seems like they've got a hit with the people. I mean, what's the reviews?
I think so.
What's the reviews?
The reviews have been that they were solid. There's concern in reviews that the quests are repetitive and there isn't that much other than you do those, and it's like, well, okay, but I also think they'll add different storylines maybe, or they'll throw in other
we're just getting started,
potentially other homages with an open world game like that. Who knows?
Add more islands, add more world, and add more quests. I'm sure they'll have a hit on their hands for a while with that one.
I think so too. I think so too. So it's out now for Xbox and PC, and go pick it up.
And you've been streaming a lot on it too, so make sure you check the channel.
Oh yeah, sure, certainly. Check out Fly072316. That's my personal channel for streaming games. So please check us out when we're on. All right, so let's transition away from some game talk, I guess, and let's talk some figures. We are supposed to be waxing Plastica on this show.
Yes.
So, I picked up actually several new figures recently, and one of them is the Hot Toys Hoth Leia, which we have here before us. Actually, why don't we put her in Kosovo, and she can...
That's downtown Detroit for those people that don't know what Kosovo is.
Dun, dun, dun. Wow, all right. I guess nobody from Michigan's ever going to watch this show.
Yeah, done with that.
All right. So, yeah, and I think that she is a great figure. I think the likeness is extremely
killer.
Good. Can we get a zoom in on Leia, maybe, potentially?
Potentially. So, I'm going to talk to Marvel Jockey over here. Your opinions. Your opinions. What do you think of her?
She looks great. I mean, the hair detail is really nice. I think sculpted hair generally looks better than rooted, and I'm glad they didn't go rooted with braids or any crazy.
You're not.
Completely agree with you on that. Yeah. There's, I will be the first to admit, rooted hair I think is just a fad that will eventually go away.
Hopefully.
Everybody thinks it's like the greatest thing when they actually have flowing hair, but the ability to sculpt hair, I mean, keep it going. They're getting better and better at it.
I think for certain hairstyles, you could actually get away with the rooted hair a little bit. But as a whole...
What was that, Squeaky?
I like it. Yeah, I like it. I mean,
as a whole, I think sculpted, but I have a couple figures with rooted hair. And...
I have a couple, too.
I mean, it's cool that Hot Toys gives you a little brush and tells you in the instructions. Tells you to brush the hair.
If you're not into hairstyling, then maybe rooted hair isn't the greatest deal ever. I mean, depending on who it is. I mean, there was some pictures that you'd sent me one time, Marvel Jockey, of somebody had styled up the Hot Toys Wonder Woman hair.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think you just said with water, maybe even.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it looked amazing.
Yep.
I mean, it really, 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 really looked good. I mean, out of the box.
Mine out of the box looked pretty legit.
Okay.
I was happy with mine out of the box with Wonder Woman.
I would say flat out, it sucked compared to what this one looked like with the water, though.
Yeah.
Because this looked like it had
it was real
hairspray, and it was real, and the Gal Gadot had stepped out of the
trailer.
Just stepped out of the trailer for shooting, and it was really, really impressive. Now I've seen, but then conversely, like the Hot Toys Anne Hathaway Catwoman figure. I mean, it is so easy to get a couple of hairs out of place on that head, and then it looks like garbage because the hairs are pointing this way instead of laying down flat or whatever, and then you can't get them to lay down right, or you mess up 3 other ones when you get that one.
The Age of Ultron Black Widow is extremely bad about that too. The Age of Ultron was
you're right, because she had the
shorter hair,
that shorter,
and it was short and straight, but the figure comes out as being like almost like a perm. It's kinked hair a little bit, so it looks nothing like it did in the movie. Now, conversely, her longer hair in Civil War actually looks really good.
Yeah, and I still, the hair I like the best on her, and it was rooted as well, I thought her...
Iron Man 2?
No. Winter Soldier hair.
That was actually the straight hair.
Straight bob. That was,
the bob.
The bob. It was really... I really liked that. Of course, I liked that look on that character anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, this... I mean, rooted hair on this wouldn't really...
No, it wouldn't work.
I think
it doesn't really matter with it being that short.
I think shorter hair, I think, works great for sculpted.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I think when you get the longer hair, it depends on what you're looking at. This hairstyle.
Yeah.
And also matters, believe it or not, it's kind of an intangible quality, but it also matters who the face is, too. On certain ones.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that.
Like Gal Gadot works perfectly for Wonder Woman. I think it works great, but like I've seen others with long hair, and it just doesn't look right.
Well, I mean, okay, then like conversely, like the Harley Quinn figures. I mean, the Hot Toys Harley Quinn figures.
Many people have rooted that.
Yeah,
from the sculpt.
And I've seen some that have looked good. I thought.
Yeah, there's a gentleman that does a really good job on those. I almost even commissioned him to do it.
Yeah, you had talked about it. I thought I was going to ask if you
did not. I like the sculpt a lot, so
that's cool.
Keeping it on.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird how because whereas like with the Harley Quinn figures, the sculpted hair doesn't look bad. I don't like the Pippi Longstocking.
The pigtails.
Pigtails that shoot out 10 feet and then.
I don't like the look, period. So rooted hair isn't going to make me like that any better than I already don't. But like her jail figure, I mean,
with her hair done up,
that would be cool. Rooted, if you could have those cool, with the braid things
twists.
And the twists and stuff in it. I mean, that would be neat. But kind of like with this
sculpted,
one,
that's amazing.
Sure, right. It looks really good sculpted too. But kind of like with this one with the braids. I mean, do you know how much trouble that would be for them to root the hair with those braids? I mean, and do the twists and the Harley Quinns. I'm sure that would be a nightmare.
That'd be crazy.
So, and it would, of course, then they'd pass the savings right on to us on that too. So
Oh, they sure would. Let me
so
tell
the
you.
sculpted deal is fine in a lot of cases. But then, okay, so and I don't know the company. You will probably know the company. The company that's making that Qui-Gon Jinn that's coming out.
Who is that?
Oh, that's what I was asking. Do I?
Stump the chef, folks. All right.
Stump the Schwab, everybody.
Yes,
Well,
I like it.
I didn't pay much attention to him. He didn't look very good.
Yeah, I was going to say the same. I know which one you're talking about.
Not Toys Works, maybe something like that.
Toys Works.
Something like
Hair
that.
doesn't.
Well, yeah, nice. That's good. I thought the hair was kind of cool on that. The rooted hair. The face doesn't look great, but then again, the sideshow figure that I already own doesn't look great either. So I'm thinking with rooted hair, I might actually pick that one up if I could get a decent deal on it. But like with the rooted hair with that one, I mean, he's got the braid, and they did the lower part that's kind of straight, and then the part here that was tied up, and I thought it looked really good. The hair.
Maybe I didn't see enough pictures. Because I think when the
I think you're just biased against rooted hair is what I think. I think
half
you're
the
a
time
rooted hair
it
bigot.
never looks to scale, so it throws off the scale. Like the sculpt, you can get the right detail and it's small enough.
Yep.
But if the braids are too big, it looks stupid.
Well, sure,
Yeah.
but I don't think they are. I think they look. I think almost.
I don't know, I'd have to see
just
more
about every
pictures.
rooted hair figure I've seen doesn't look out of scale that I can think of.
No, the worst one I saw was I've seen some Thors from Age of Ultron that people are doing, and the hair just looks really bad on some of those.
Okay, I could see that maybe. Yeah. I could see that.
I've seen some bad rooted Dark Knight Joker.
But
I've seen some excellent
Yeah, but I've seen
ones,
some good
too.
ones too, though.
Joker.
Yeah. There's
been some
Dark
good
Knight
ones.
Jokers, some
Yeah.
really good ones. Like,
Really good.
I mean, not that I'd pay $100 or more for the head.
You pay upwards of $300 for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I
The
mean
good
you're pulling.
ones are
Yeah,
like-
you're
yeah,
pulling the
yeah,
full
yeah,
price of
yeah,
a regular
yeah.
figure.
Doubling
just
the
for
price of the
No,
figure.
I'm not going to
Yeah.
do that. But they certainly look like they would be worth owning. I mean,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
as far as
people,
quality
the
wise.
Joker ones have been the most convincing, but like the new Anakin, the sculpted hair is amazing.
Agreed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Loki's hair,
And I haven't seen.
Yeah.
Have you seen it in person?
not yet.
Okay. Yeah.
The Lokis look good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the Lokis look good. That's fine. I mean the sculpted hair. It's not that it looks bad, although sometimes it looks terrible. But it just depends on who they do.
The first Avengers Loki looked a little weird with the spiky hair, but the new one with the curly long hair.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the Dark World, or are you talking about the
Some
Ragnarok
sculpted hair
version?
that while
The new one?
it doesn't,
Ragnarok?
it isn't terrible. It still looks not amazing. Is Alien Ripley?
That was a little
with
bit-
that big mop, and it just.
She had a big mop.
I know that, but it would.
I
but
think it
wouldn't-
looks amazing.
Wouldn't rooted
like
hair
But they
look
changed
better?
it twice. Didn't they do rooted
I've
hair and
seen
then it was sculpted?
they did a
Most
rooted
birds
hair
are.
example, and there are people doing rooted hair on it. And I have seen. I mean, to be honest, nothing. I think it takes away
Really?
from the character when they did some of the
Wow.
rooted hair. I mean, some people add really weird lengths to it, and they just all have
Well,
their
okay.
own style.
Right,
So
all right,
it looks
all right,
it looks
okay,
different. I
all right.
challenge a person to do a rooted hair version with that head sculpt and make the aliens.
Submit that challenge
Sigourney
to
Weaver,
Plastic Action.
the
Jockeys,
short.
right?
I want the short-haired
Let's see it. We
Ripley
wanna
from
see it
Alien.
right here on the Jockeys.
Yes, that's what I want.
And we will showcase it if you
I'd
have
probably
it right on the
commission
show.
Game over, man.
That's
Game
right.
over.
We'll showcase it for
It's a
sure.
bug hunt. So,
Yeah,
well, let me
okay.
throw this out since we're kind of on the
Sure,
Leia thing
sure.
right here.
Leia Poppins?
Leia Poppins, yeah. No, I don't know if anybody here's getting Leia Poppins.
No.
So what?
We have one.
What else?
Shocker there.
What else is she coming with?
What's her
Why? So she can stand around and then sit down and then be in a coma and then stand around some more?
I get to shoot
That-
Poe Dameron in one shot the whole movie.
Yeah, slap him. You get to slap him.
Just
Well, she gets to
have
stun him and
old
slap
Han,
him?
Luke and Leia. That's it. I'm not trying to recreate anything from last
You
year.
just went,
Oh,
okay.
Oh.
That makes
Well, yeah,
sense.
but it's, I would totally want to do that too if they'd actually had them on screen together. Anyway, back to what you were saying
Anyway, what I was saying.
before we tangent.
What else does Hot Leia here come with, accessory-wise?
Oh, yeah. That's an excellent.
One of the big things I like to, shout out with these toy creators is that
box.
not only are the figures amazing, but I mean, for me, who really enjoys doing miniatures and doing scaled stuff, the artistic ability to make these miniature accessories is
Inserts?
very cool. And some of the pieces.
Wait a minute.
Death Star 2 with Han Leia.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Did nobody
With
ever
a-
notice that?
Okay.
No, that, but with a New Hope
Is
stock
this-
photo Falcon too.
Is this a rare packaging variant, folks?
Yeah.
Anybody remember the Billy Ripken Fleer '89 card with the old message on the back? Knob there?
Or the 3PO 77?
Yeah. All right, so accessory-wise, Leia here.
85 pair of hands?
Pretty... no, actually not that many. Only 5 hands total.
Oh, okay.
Additionally.
I'd take, like, 2 sets of hands and then, like, 20 wrist pegs.
With her...
If they could just switch that around.
Speckled figure stand here. Very typical Hot Toys deal.
Is the stand, is it flippable? The stand?
Doesn't look like it is. No, it does not appear to be.
Some of them are.
Comes with her pistol that I have there in her hand.
Well, like,
and then
the
comes with the blowtorch. Whoa! Whoops, hands are falling everywhere. Comes with the blowtorch from the Falcon.
Breath mask.
Comes with the goggles so she doesn't spark out her eyes when she.
OSHA.
It was when she was on the Falcon right before.
So there's no OSHA violations out on
the Space Slug. There's no OSHA violations.
And then there's her Minoc mask for
another OSHA
tripping around out in the Minoc or out in space. Technically,
spray painting the Falcon.
And then that's it. So there we go. So we get some gloves and some ungloved hands. One set. A pointless instruction book, and there you have it. Some extra figure pegs and those cool the goggles are really nice. I like that, as well as the blowtorch. That's neat because it comes with an actual string, like stretchy cord.
Yeah.
That you can actually stretchy cord. That's
good job. Extra points for them on that.
Pretty cool. Extra points. Hot Toys. All right. So examples. This is not a figure that is totally sold out yet. Examples are available. Are examples available at Time Walker Toys? So examples are available at Time Walker Toys currently. It is in stock. So feel free and pop on in if you're local to Kansas City. And if you're not, well, they have a website as well, timewalkertoys.com.
And I'll throw it out there as well. Go to Mischief Dioramas on Facebook and see a diorama piece we did for a detolf for this figure.
Oh yeah, there we go.
So
that's right.
In the Hoth
base. You have a Hoth.
Absolutely.
You have a Hoth diorama yourself. That's right. Cool. So I believe we have another figure that we're going to discuss this evening as well.
Can I keep the stand up for a few seconds?
You need to
the stand. Yes.
The stand.
The stand. Yes. Put the figure now.
So what is this? So Ghost Jockey has brought us a figure here for a bit of a show and tell. So
this is the Zensation Master 1 figure.
Okay, who the hell is Master 1?
Probably the ancient one from
okay.
Neo?
From Doctor Strange.
Oh, okay. So Tilda Swinton's character.
It's Tilda Swinton's character without naming any rights or anything like that.
Well, we're not.
It's Tita
We're not trying to sell we're not trying to sell our figures, so we don't care about any naming rights.
Okay, but it is based off
her likeness,
and her name from her character from the Doctor Strange movie made by Zensation. We literally just got the figure. I just literally got the figure this evening and haven't even really much time to open it. But the head sculpt is actually pretty daggone good. You can take the hood down if you'd like, just to show it.
Oh yeah, chrome domer.
Yes, and
is there? It feels like is there some sort of maybe a wire in? No, maybe not.
But head sculpt is actually pretty good. It's the first figure I bought as a 1/6 collector that's not a Hot Toys, believe it or not. I've never bought anything. Yeah, it's the first figure I've ever bought that has Hot Toys. It's a really good figure. Head sculpt's good. The outfit is actually
knockoff.
I would say knockoff. I'd say secondary. I would say
unlicensed.
There you go.
Yes.
They get the name of knockoff from some.
Yeah, but it seems like a pretty cool figure. I'm gonna, obviously.
I agree. I think it looks really solid.
Comes with a couple extra pair of hands, and it comes with the little magic fan blade shield things that she uses in the battle with
those? Okay, that's pretty.
It comes with those.
See those. Why don't you get those out?
Yeah. Get those.
Let's see some accessories here.
I think they pretty much just cut the Doctor Strange ones in half and recast them.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So
how do they attach?
I probably just holds them.
Magic.
Oh,
magnets. Magnets. Somebody got a funny on a Saturday.
Nice.
No, but they've already Zensation did a couple. How long ago they did what's the likeness of Caecilius as well?
We did them on here.
We did.
Oh, that's right. We did one on here. So a lot of times gotta think about some of these companies that
The Zealot Sorcerer.
Yeah, that aren't maybe like as big as Hot Toys.
Yeah, but are producing.
But they're producing the figures that aren't. Their head sculptors
That's
are a
better
lot
than decent even.
and affordable.
That's really well done.
Yeah, I would say honestly they're about 60%.
Plus
her gold
it's
ring
different
deal.
though. It's a different shape than the other one.
Yeah,
but these
it's a unique one.
These figures are like 60% to half of what a Hot Toys figure is,
which is exactly what makes them extra inviting.
And I will say also that
and a lot of times it's characters that Hot Toys won't make.
That's basically most of them are. Like if you're a fan, I know this is the biggest one. If you're a fan of X-Men, Hot Toys only done 8 Wolverines, but they've done pretty much all the other casts from both sets of franchises. And those are they've done 2 different Magnetos. They've done there's Storms out there. Yeah. Mystique's running a little bit behind, but I know they're doing her. They've done Laser Eye, which is Cyclops. So they, some of these lesser companies that you may not hear about are doing characters that the bigger ones aren't doing. And even though they're unlicensed, the head sculpting on these companies are catching up to where some of these bigger companies are.
Oh, I agree.
And it's not like.
Definitely.
2 or 3 years ago with these head sculpts, you're like, the costume's all right, the body's okay, but the head is just,
that's always the main selling point, I think, to a figure is a head sculpt. Mm-hmm. That's the biggest focus in these companies that are unlicensed. It's easy to get these bodies. Tailoring is probably, a decent challenge, but nothing too crazy. But if you can find an artist to commission a good head sculpt like that, that's your biggest thing. I was going to throw out there that just some of the better stuff, too, that or one of the largest selling non-licensed would have been the Wasteland Ranger.
That was a great figure.
That was the Tom Hardy Mad Max figure.
They sell for quite a bit after market.
We waited, I don't know, let's say when the first day they pre-ordered that stuff up, Marvel Jockey, what was the...
It was over a year.
Crimea River.
Oh, that's only half the time for a
Hulkbuster.
Yeah, but then again, Hulkbuster is something, like a corporate company keeps waiting and taking their time with. This is like a small company that put something out that was incredibly affordable, and so many people.
And they are doing a Furiosa from that too, but we still waiting on that.
I actually pre-ordered that a year and a half ago. A year ago. Maybe. Yeah, it was like a year ago.
So that figure, if you've seen pictures of that,
it's been
it looks amazing.
It's a gorgeous picture.
Yeah. So
some of these companies are doing.
The arm had like all the. Had the metal
she has
arm,
the robot
really
arm.
Cool,
the hobby, the 1/6 hobby, is growing.
Oh,
and it's
huge.
And while certain companies are going up in price, others are making theirs more affordable, which I think will. It's hard to tell what the hobby will do, but it's just some of these I hate to say secondary, smaller companies. Less prestigious companies are making figures that people are buying more of because they're affordable and they're characters that some of the bigger ones aren't doing.
I'm following some lines right now for movies that I'm a large follower of, fan of when it comes to like Blade Runner.
Yeah.
For example, we were discussing this earlier before the show that I have multiple orders of figures for Blade Runner because it's one of my favorite films as a kid, and the new one was great. And I don't see any of these huge companies making these figures anytime soon, but these unlicensed people are making great ones.
I think even though it's a license, I think the sale of the Blitzway Ghostbusters proved that you could have a decent company make figures like that. And I mean, Blitzway's
those are not unlicensed.
I know, but they're licensed. But what I'm saying, they're not licensed. But I'm saying some of these smaller companies are getting some of these. They're catching up. Is what I'm saying. And
they're getting exclusive licensing on things that people wouldn't even think about.
Yeah, I'm quite angry at myself for not pre-ordering a set of the Ghostbusters because I, of course, then after the fact decided to go ahead and try and get them, and they are not cheap to try to buy.
Well, none of that, and I know we don't have it here, but I think
we have 3 of the 4 in this very room.
But also, 1/6 vehicles are starting. They're starting to etch in those more and more. I mean, started with the Batmobiles and tumblers.
It's still really hit and miss or pick and choose, I guess.
But
you could say.
But you're seeing at least you don't have to go 2 or 3 years in between. Like one a year now, pretty much. There's one big one wouldn't you say every year almost? Because it's the Ecto one, and then have you ever? I mean, not for hot.
I about every 2 to 3.
Every 2?
I'd say 2 to 3.
Yeah. Ecto one will be next year.
Yeah.
Is it 2019 for that one?
Yeah.
And that's before any Blitzway delays.
Yeah, but if you'd asked...
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
That's the first release date.
So, but, I mean, if you said 5 years ago we were going to have DeLoreans from Back to the Future and an Ecto 1, and would you have guessed? And a Batmobile, would you have guessed we were going to get those?
5 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, because some of them were already out.
Well, other than the '89 Batmobile. And you're a jerk.
Yeah. But see, those are the things that actually have been increasing in like the second selling process. If somebody sells it off, the vehicles are always, I mean, one, they make lower amounts of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So two, the prices of them are always, much higher, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
But then when people buy them to resell, I mean, it's a challenge to find, one, a good price on it, two, it 100% perfect.
Right.
And there are people, just that challenge you to find something, find a flaw in it so that they can, make the price go down lower on those. I mean, there are people that don't even spend, 100% of what they ask for the little shipping box.
There's people that get free vehicles even.
There are people who definitely get free vehicles because they go through a month worth of BS. Yes, definitely.
That was
definitely.
That's just a freaking steal is what that is.
Well, yeah, it is. But I mean, okay, so here's a question, and I mean, I can't possibly think of the true answer. Okay, so Hot Toys has shown multiple Star Wars 1/6 vehicles. Multiples. Now, I can see why they don't. Why a TIE Fighter isn't going to come out? Okay,
right.
Because it's so big.
It's about 6 feet tall.
Was it that big?
Yeah, with the panels, it was close to 5 to 6 feet tall. Yes.
I thought the wings were pretty tall.
4.5, 5.
There is a guy making a ATST.
Yeah, I've seen a guy making a 1/6 snow speeder too.
And the cockpit alone is like the size of a coffee table. So I mean, it's crazy.
Wow, that's awesome. I mean, and that's really cool. But okay, like Rey's speeder. Where
is that?
Like that? Or like, why not make like a Luke's land speeder? I mean, it's not going to be bigger than the DeLorean.
No, and you've seen some of those military companies that do the military figures. Yeah. There are plenty of Jeeps and trucks and stuff like that out there.
Yeah.
And I mean, while they're not,
granted, some of them are crappier plastic, and that's why they're cheap or whatever, and they don't cost as much.
But
so you say they're mostly metal.
Okay, I'm not talking about. Well, I don't even know the companies that make the high-end vehicles. I mean, I'm talking more like 21st century toys and people like that.
Yeah, those are.
Those are lower quality, but they're also a lot more affordable. They're not $800 for a truck. I mean,
yeah, very true.
Which, granted, those trucks that cost that much money look great, and they're not worth it. But it's like it's just a tougher ask.
I remember. I just remember the first time they did that standalone in somewhere in Southeast Asia, and they had the Millennium Falcon cockpit. Yeah, that was the first thing they ever did. Everybody's like, "Oh, 5, 6, 800,000." I'm like, first off, you're going 4 digits minimum on that.
Oh, it was you're not easy, but they still have never made that.
I want to see that.
And there are still people talking about it.
And what was that? 2.5 years? Well, it was 2 years ago because it was before Force Awakens came out.
Yeah.
So you're talking.
But the thing that stinks about that is there's a lot of versatility to something like that because you could do something from these new movies. They could sell a cute little porg basket, and, or you could go classic trilogy and just
I think Land Speeder would probably. Yeah. I mean, Land Speeder and Ray Speeder are probably the 2 easiest ones to do.
Yeah,
I would.
Because I've already done a freaking speeder bike.
I would find a way to get a Land Speeder. I don't want a Ray Speeder at this point, but I would find a way to get a Land Speeder.
Land Speeders. I mean, yes, there's some detail to it, but at the same time. It's basic in its design. Basic in its design. And you don't have to. You can do the pop-up engine if you want to, but if you don't want to, you don't.
You don't even have to do the engine, but you could do. It's got a trunk for storage. Throw his knapsack or whatever in there. I mean, or is that stupid floppy hat? I mean, I don't know. That's. I mean, and they've done a 6-inch scale one of those now.
But for both of those, Land Speeder and Ray Speeder.
That's right. They did Ray Speeder too.
They did both at the same time.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit surprised they haven't done a single
Star Wars.
Yeah, for sale. I mean, they've shown some.
Well, the mouse is weird about the mouse.
Well, can I just? I'm gonna change paths real quick. Can I make one question? Yeah. Since you talked about how the vehicles are kind of being this thing now in 1/6 scale, and these are like the DeLorean, Ecto 1. Mm-hmm. I'd like to ask everybody. If you could pick one of your favorite vehicles just in general from any film or movie to have made, what would you want, no matter what?
That's an interesting one.
I'll start it out.
All right, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so to this day, and I think everybody here knows this, I'm challenging somebody to make me an Alex Rogan from The Last Starfighter. 1/6 scale figure, I would take a Gunstar.
That
even if it was just the cockpit, but I would take the Gunstar or
that would be pretty legit.
Or the car, Centauri's car.
Okay.
Would be probably my most desired item.
A 1/6. That's reasonable because we know there's
no. We're just talking anything.
Just crazy.
We're going crazy.
Yeah, because
my favorite fighter,
regardless of cost.
Exactly.
My favorite
or size.
Money's no object.
My favorite fighter / ship from any franchise is still a junkie for the X-wing. The X-wing fighter from any you can do Poe Dameron's Black.
Yeah.
You can do Red Squadron, Rogue Squadron, whatever you want to do.
Rogue Squadron.
The X-wing fighter is just really, it's just iconic to me. It's iconic. It's been in, so many movies. 5, out of the 8. That would be one. Or if you're gonna go prequel, which I know people don't like, I think it'd be kind of kick-ass to do a gunship.
Oh, that would be super cool.
A gunship scale Republic gunship from Attack of the Clones or Revenge of the Sith, whichever one. Actually, the coolest one to
sail barge that would hold that thing over.
How about a Tiger Shark gunship from the Clone Wars in that scale?
Ooh, yeah, that'd be really neat.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
That would be sweet. Okay, so
we're dreaming.
What do you
got? What do you got?
Galactica
Viper.
Oh, nice.
Mark 7. You can do the Mark 7 or the Mark 1?
1.
You can go original, go old white, not the new blue.
Yeah, well, the original with the upgrade. Yeah. The show.
The Mark 1.
With a line of figures, too.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
That's still one thing we agree on. That's still both of our favorite TV show of all time.
There's an Adama that's been prototyped that Figure Masters may do a small run of.
Edward James Olmos one?
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
But Figure Masters has taken
I'll be getting that text from you.
2.5 years to release a Professor X that I have had on pre-order. That is coming.
Yeah.
But it's taken that long.
Yeah.
So is that one of those I get a text message from you and we're ordering 3. Do you want one of them now? I'm like,
yep.
Nice.
Yeah. What do you think?
I would go with the Milano from Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's a kick.
That would be
That is one of the most coolest designs of a ship.
It would be good. That would be good. I mean,
that
because
blue
the color,
yellow.
the orange and the yellow on it, that would be really cool.
On there, yeah.
That would be really cool.
Nice.
Especially if you could put the figures in the cockpit.
Well, even if you could just get the cockpit of the Milano.
Well, yeah, even that would work.
That would
even
be,
just the cockpit would be cool with that ship.
The ship would be amazing, but then let's get it back into reality again and say, hey, just make me a cockpit because that'd be pretty legit. So.
Yeah, I agree. Well, we are getting a little bit low on time, but before we wrap up, I do have one other item we want to show this evening, and we might want to go ahead and
that out of the way.
get your little lady there, and I'll get this out of the way.
It's okay.
You might want to move the diorama
out
of the way as well, and I will then grab this piece. Excuse me just a second, folks. Yeah, grunt. Yoda grunt, growl. Alright. Let's put him in there. That's pretty central. Okay, so we have here a Yoda statue that might be recognized. It is a I guess it was a knockoff of the Sideshow Classic Trilogy Yoda statue. I didn't really realize that going into purchasing this, although I purchased it because its price was lower. And I got it on eBay, so full disclosure there. And it was from China, full disclosure there. I beat the tariffs though. Woohoo! And
and Chinese New Year too.
Yeah,
good job.
I don't have a Classic Trilogy Yoda statue, and Yoda has always kind of been my favorite Star Wars character, along with Luke. And so I saw this one and its price, and so I went for it, and then finally got it in this week. And there's a cane that's off camera that is not. I don't have to glue it on. Yeah, I don't have to glue it into place because it doesn't. It doesn't want to wedge in and stick. And I've tried some sticky tack and whatnot, and it doesn't want to. Yeah, it doesn't go in there very well. So, it's pretty well made. It had bolts coming out of the feet that screwed into the base. And it has 2 layers of outfits. And the cane could probably use a touch-up paint job because some of the paint's coming off it for sure. So
I can help you with that.
I was just gonna say, it could go home with a certain someone here this evening.
Yeah, I'll take it with me.
All right, sweet. And so I just was really impressed with it. I think the face looks really, really great.
I like
on
the outfit.
Yoda.
I think they good job.
Yeah, I mean, I think the outfit looks very authentic. It looks, very, very much like, his Jedi tunic from Empire. The underneath tunic is a little sheeny for my taste, I would say. It's got that sheen to it.
Yeah.
It has a stretchy.
Yeah, I mean, and that's okay. But the sheen, that shine, that is
it's not the worn look of being on Dagobah for 20 years.
Yeah, that's not so movie accurate. But
just random sandpaper, really fine grade sandpaper. Just put that on that; it'll really dull that down.
Really? Okay. All right. I'll try that out too.
I mean, you want to do some good weathering with it? We could definitely do that with the cloth. Be surprised what like tea bags, you can get really nice staining effects with that fabric too.
Cool.
Yeah, probably like right in here.
Mm-hmm.
A video game reference there. All right, so yeah, no, I really do like the statue.
I like I'm looking at it from this point. I like the fact that he did some small stuff like the wrinkles on his knuckles.
Yeah.
And the veins in his hands. Mm-hmm. And the wrinkles on the back of his head. I know it's a little back and you can't see it. There's some actual decent, there's some thought to go into this other than...
Well, and the sideshow piece, the sideshow version of this has maybe a little brighter color, or the color pops a little bit more.
It does look like a Muppet almost, so it looks...
But it's a pretty good Yoda. I mean, it's a pretty good sculpt on it. It looks like Yoda from the classic trilogy versus Yoda from
Episode 1.
Like a prequel.
The puppet one
Yoda,
or 2
right,
or 3,
yeah,
the digital.
prequel looking Yoda.
Yeah.
It definitely looks better than that. So I'm pretty pleased with it. I wanted to.
Is that the Force? Is that the last Jedi Yoda Ghost version? Sure. Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, this was definitely available before The Last Jedi came out. So, yeah.
So how did you research and suddenly find out this thing was, available?
I stumbled on it on...
Because I've never seen it.
Yeah, I stumbled on it on eBay. I was looking for a... Wow. How did you manage to...
You kidding me? This guy's magic.
Well, maybe I don't need to glue it in, but you need to give it to him so he can paint it. He's going to take it with him so he can paint it.
Nope,
not anymore.
No. He needs to. Yeah, it has to. You need to unforce it. Unforce.
Unforce it.
Very nice. Yes.
You must unlearn what you've learned.
Very nice magic tricks. Yes, the magic fingers. I just wanted to show it off. I actually, when I figured out what it was after I purchased it, I'm like, wait, this is the knockoff of that sideshow one, and because I saw the base, and the sideshow base has a little Dagobah creature and a different rock thing that's a little taller or whatever on it. And they didn't do that on this, but that's also quite alright because the sideshow Yoda statue costs like $1,500. And this one was nowhere near that much money, at more like $300 shipped. So it was definitely worth it for me. It was definitely worth it as a purchase.
I'll tell you what, the head sculpt on the thing does look really good too.
Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with it. So, I just wanted to show it off and I'm pleased with this Yoda purchase, and there we have it. But all right, well, we are just slightly over on our runtime here, so we are going to sign off for this episode of Jockeys Wax Plastica. Thank you very much for joining us. Also big thanks to a now absent Bat Jockey and Ghost Jockey and Marvel Jockey for joining us for episode 3. And we will be back in, I believe, 2 weeks with our next episode. And thank you for joining us. Have a great week.
Hold on a second, I'm sorry. Yep.